Warning, spoilies ahead.
This kind of sucks.
Right?
Like, it's too soft and shit, dude. Like,
That's what, yeah, like there's
And
something.
call me unforgiven.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about that album. Sort of like this movie.
whoa, dude, cool segue. Hello, people of the future. Welcome to Two Guys, One Film. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Dane.
And this week we watched the 1997 movie Alien Resurrection, written by Joss Whedon. I didn't know that. And sorry, sir, you're French. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Jean-Pierre Jeunet? I don't know how to pronounce your name. That's the best shot I'm going to give it.
It sounded right.
It sounds French. That's all that fucking matters. Alien Resurrection. Quick synopsis. It's 200 years after Alien 3, which, spoiler alert, Ripley jumped into some hot lava, some molten steel, if you will, holding the queen alien in her chest as she went. Flash forward 200 years, they're cloning her. And that's it.
Yeah.
Because they want the alien, they want the xenomorph inside her, and she's just a byproduct. So, 8th time's the charm, they get it.
Apparently.
They got a queen. And then it's an alien movie after that. So you know how it goes if you've seen an alien movie.
Well, it's just all right. I guess we're starting into this.
And that's it. That's the synopsis. If you haven't seen an alien movie, then I don't know why you're starting with Resurrection, but all right.
Man, what a weird one
What
to
a
start
way
with.
to start.
Like, don't
The fourth one in the series.
And it's like the only one that's like this too.
Yeah.
Like none of the other ones are like this. It's anyway.
But you know, okay, so about the thing about this movie is like they do, maybe because it's written by Joss Whedon and he's like a, you know, fucking fanboy, but I do like the things from the older movies that are put into it. Like, you know, Ripley gets that classic line at the beginning when it shows her like younger embryo, you know, like, my mommy said there's no monsters in the world.
Yeah.
But there are, because, you know, Newt said that in Aliens, and I was like, ooh,
yeah,
cool callback. But then you have things like, instead of mother, the ships are father.
Father, yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's cool. And they also did a good job of making the technology look mostly the same.
Mostly.
Which is 200 years. Like, the cockpits and stuff. I was like, okay, cool. But other than that, you know, it's quick little calls to the other movies.
And I mean, it's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, she gets that classic line. There's no monsters in the world, but my mommy said there's not, but guess what? There are. Yeah. And does she mean aliens or does she mean people? That's up to you. You decide. Probably mostly people in this movie.
Yeah.
It's like, spoiler alert, folks, the people are the pieces of shit in this movie.
It's
the scientists, military
unfortunately,
operation.
like the people are mostly the shitty ones in the movies.
Yeah. You know, the xenomorphs are just minding their business. They're just trying to survive. They're, you know, highly adaptable, parasitic colonization of things. It's not their fault, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we're the ones moving them around. Like,
yeah.
Apparently, like, they can get into space somehow. Wasn't there, like, some sort of way that they could, like, send spores or some shit? I mean, I'm going into some stuff that's like probably has nothing to do. Well, it has nothing to do with this movie. But
okay, we'll do a quick tangent, folks. I don't know where Prometheus and Covenant lie. I like to think that. Okay, I'm gonna go off on Prometheus and Covenant. I thought Prometheus was cool, as like a cool alien prequel of like, oh, this is like maybe how it could happen because that like cool blue xenomorph thing at the end. I was like, awesome, cool, the evolution of those. And then he pulled a J.J. Abrams and he chicken shitted out for Covenant, and then he's like, fan service, Xenomorph, it's here. It's basically the first Alien movie, but now it's not. And like, it's just like, dude, you could have like, if he would have kept going with like the slow progression
Covenant,
of like,
but like I did like Prometheus. I thought that was really cool. I was like, oh, cool.
If you like Prometheus, then you will not like Covenant, because like, I will spoil Covenant for you. So David, David and what's her name at the end of Prometheus go off, and she's like, I want to find the people who made us, because like the planet they found was like that weird military installation for the engineers or whatever. And so they kill her off screen in Covenant on their way to the engineer planet, and then David kills them all with like the black goo, and then the entire time he's like trying to make the xenomorph species, like he's like trying to make the perfect species, and then people come down and they break all these rules immediately of like, we're on a foreign planet, better not go in with our helmets on.
Of course.
And so it's basically cut and dry like the first two Alien movies put together, with like how dumb the people are, and then like it's just so weird because then David's like the weird father of the xenomorph species as we know it, because he's like been cross breeding them with, it was bad.
So basically what it boiled down to is like, it's all our fault they're here in the first place. Whoa.
Well, then he tried to tie it in with one movie to the Alien movie. And I was like, dude, just make another like cool prequel that doesn't have to directly tie into it. Like Prometheus would have just been like a cool movie on its own. You didn't have to make it like a fucking Alien movie, but like it was cool. I enjoyed it, but then Covenant, he just like fucking Rise of Skywalkered it and just like, nothing's canon. Let's see, it's Alien. They literally blow it out the airlock like in the first one.
Right in the beginning of this movie, is it just a regular bug?
What?
Do you remember that? It just shows like that little bug.
Oh, I don't know. I totally missed that.
You didn't see that part? Then he crushes it and spits it through that straw.
No, I don't remember. Who does this? Who?
Just some random guy in the beginning of the movie.
No.
Maybe I watched like there was like a longer version, and maybe I saw that. If that's seriously what
once
was
again,
cut out,
you watched the director's cut, and I did, and it's like Avatar all over again. I was like, I don't remember a bug scene, because it starts with her in the tube, and then goes immediately to like them, like that weird like gooey camera thing of like teeth and eyes, and then it's like them like cutting her open basically.
Oh.
And
so
do they do like
this,
an Avatar
like,
thing where she's like the Christ and she's in a
no,
wheelchair?
what they show is like this little bug, and it kind of looks like it has the face of a xenomorph, just like teeth, and then it like zooms out, and this guy like crushes it and spits it through a straw against this window. And then that's when it like goes in, and like you could see like.
Well, now I'm curious. See, this sucks. Now I gotta watch the director's cut.
If that's seriously it. We'll keep going. I'm like, man.
If you bring up any more scenes, I'm gonna be like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right. Okay. Well, I watched the director's cut once again.
I didn't even know there was one. I just watched whatever one was available on Disney Plus.
Is it seriously on Disney Plus?
Well, it was on Hulu, so Hulu and Disney like merged.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was like,
so like I watched it on Disney Plus, and I was like, it always is fucking weird to me. I was like, I'm watching this on Disney Plus. Okay. But when they're doing the surgery on her to get the queen out, and they have like those robot gloves, it looks exactly like the glove Michael Ironside had in Starship Troopers. Remember his like metal hand?
Oh yeah.
It looks fucking just like that. Like it just looks like that same like hand glove thing. I'm like, did they really just like, let's get the Starship Trooper gloves from Mr. Michael Ironsides.
I wonder if they had like same costume designer or something.
Maybe, yeah. He's like, I'm really good at making metal gloves for hands. So like, if you guys need metal gloves that go over your hands, make it look like robot hands, I'm in.
But they get the alien out, put it in that tube. Well, that's little things that
they
like hold it.
it's weirdly, I mean, I don't want to say this because it's French, but it's like a very weirdly sexual movie.
Right? What the
You know?
hell?
And it's always been the weird thing about this movie, but everyone's just like, oh, like everyone's just always like so boned up this whole movie, like getting it out of her, and you're like, oh yeah, look at that thing, and then
Yeah,
put
and
it in the
it's
tube, and it's like, oh, what are we gonna do with her? And it's like, she's a
alive?
byproduct. Oh man, let's like test it out.
Like,
It's just
you gonna bang her? like what?
and then all they do is they throw her in like a wet paper bag and put her
Right?
in a hole.
Like, and then what
she's
is
gotta,
that?
Like, well, it's like ripening her faster, you know, like how you put
Or
an
they
avocado
put her in like
in
a cocoon.
Yeah, you put an avocado in a paper bag, it ripens
The only
it faster,
the only
you
thing
know?
I could take from that is like you don't have to put the symbolism like right in our face. We get it. She's like reborn. Like, like
It's like the
that's
director's
that's
like,
all I
huh?
because she comes out of
Huh?
it.
Which, like, what's funny is, like, I didn't catch it the times I've seen it before, but, like, I was like, why are her nails painted? And I was like, oh, because she has, like, xenomorph nails, because they're, like, super sharp. But she came out of the thing, I'm like, oh, that's nice. They did her nails for her. Nice, cool, like,
Oh.
kind of dark grayish color, real sharp and stuff. I was like, that's pretty fucking nice of them, you know? She cuts out of it. And she's healing fast, too.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing that aliens did. Was heal fast.
I didn't either. Well, it's like, I mean, yeah, I don't know the science behind xenomorphs because you're just like, you know, getting blown up in most movies, but like, I guess
Yeah.
she gets the benefits of it too. I don't know if they can heal, but she can, and she's
Well, yeah,
got
normally
acid
when they
blood.
get killed, they just or shot at, they just get killed and exploded all over
Yeah.
the place. So
But Ripley gets to, maybe because she had the queen in her. You know, maybe the queen. I mean, I feel like they have special powers, not like a
sort
little
of, but I mean,
drone.
she can like feel them and like hear them and shit too.
She does like to say she feels things a lot in this
Yeah.
movie. She has a lot of feelings. I can feel a ship move. I can feel them behind my eyes. I can just feel everything.
I can feel everything.
I'm a fucking alien
I'm
person.
gonna get really close to you and just
Yeah.
like smell you and stuff.
They're running tests on Ripley, and the guy's like, "Oh man, she's like healing fast." And of course, he's got to be like,
Yeah, I know. Like,
and then she kicks the shit out of him. I love that.
yeah.
And then point blank shoot her in the fucking head with like a taser
like
gun.
yeah.
Like, did it have to be this fucking close, dude?
Like, dude, she's not even like they always refer to her as it or like
Yeah.
you know a commodity
do-
and whatnot. So
And then the general, the guy who played the Cher's dad in Clueless, was like, she's a meat byproduct. And it's like, okay, that's kind of a harsh way of seeing it.
yeah, ouch.
But then this also introduces the dumbest system of unlocking doors is
Oh,
using your breath.
Yeah, what the hell? What happens if you just brushed your teeth?
It's because some of the DNA's in your mouth. It's like, you know. But
So is it getting
Why
your
breath?
if that point it's like, oh, then just spit into it.
yeah,
If it needs some of your DNA.
like not even voice recognition, eyeball recognition. They were like, breath. We haven't done that before. Try again.
Yeah, there's a reason that people don't do that. It's dumb.
It's dumb.
Like,
all right.
would you like if you in what future would you be like, you know what we should use for like extra security? Our
Breath.
breath.
Well, you know, this is like an off the books, you know, out on the edges of unregulated space, kind of like, you know, unregulated waters. You go do illegal surgeries. They're off doing illegal science. Maybe it's not the best ship, you know, and they're like, oh, we can only afford the ship with the locking doors with the breath on them. They were cheap, but we'll take
But
it.
like somehow, what's her name? I'm jumping around. What's her name?
She's-
Knew to bring the sprays, the
And
breath
how
spray.
does she get all these banakas filled with other people's spit? Like how?
Right.
Like she's spraying a bunch of them on there, and then she finally gets the generals. I'm like, how did she get those?
How did you get that?
I mean, I know you're like, you know, some resistance fighter or some shit like that, but like, where the fuck did you get all this banaka of like?
Yeah, I need you like. And who collects it? Who
There's
wants to
some
be that
maintenance
person?
guy that's like, I'm collecting people's spit so we can use them.
Am I spitting in this?
Yeah. Huh?
Or there's like a dentist on the inside or something.
Yeah. Yo, I'll get you the general spit, man, for low price, dude.
Yeah.
Of killing aliens. There are cool shots in this movie. It is shot pretty well. I do like the style of it. And I'm going to tell you right now, folks, I like this movie up to a certain point, and then it loses me. I'm not going to talk about that point yet, but we'll get there. But overall, it's shot well. I do like everything's kind of like yellow. You know, it's got that cool like tint to it, metalish kind of tint. But this reveal of the Queen was pretty fucking rad. Because they're talking, and then suddenly it's on the other side of the glass, and you can't hear Brad Dourif and that guy. And then it's like slowly panning out, and then like it just keeps going on the elongated head, and then it goes under. Like, oh shit, this thing is like full fucking grown now.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a cool fucking reveal. I like that.
The Queen is cool.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been cooler. Well, I say it would have been cooler if they would have done more with the Queen, but like then I think of like what was it like AVP when they did do more with the Queen.
She's like doing the tube and like they're full on fighting the Queen at the end of the movie. So like, you know your limitations, and that's smart.
Yeah, and this was a
like,
cool reveal, and they didn't go crazy with it, and it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was like a practical. Like,
yeah, I think that one was like. I think even the one at the end too, like.
Yeah.
Was practical, which kudos to. There's a lot of cool like practical miniatures mixed with CGI stuff. Like a lot of the ships are miniatures, but then they have like green screen background. Like I appreciate that aspect of it too, and for the fact that all the xenomorphs are like for the most part there are some CGI scenes because like you need it for full body shots or whatever. But for the most part, the xenomorphs are dudes in suits or people in suits. I don't know if there are ladies in it. People in suits. That's how you xenomorph. Awesome. Yeah.
Because, I mean, you can use camera trickery to make them look, like, really fucking tall. Mm-hmm. Which they're supposed to be anyway, I think, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're...
Well, I know in, like, the first one, there was just, like, some really tall dude was playing the xenomorph. But then, you can, like you said...
Well, I mean, there you go. They just... It's their fault that the xenomorph is really tall. They shouldn't have got a really tall... They should have got a really short dude.
Yeah, dude.
More normal size...
Xenomorphs running around.
Or a more normal sized guy, not like some almost 7 foot dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it makes it scarier.
It does, yeah. Like it adds that like uneasy thing. You're like, whoa, what the fuck is this thing? So then they're testing Ripley, number 8. And to be fair, the lady holds up that card, and Ripley goes, hand. She goes, close. It's a glove. It doesn't look like a fucking glove.
No,
it looks like a hand.
A hand.
Looks like a pink hand, So fuck you and your tests.
Well, she's doing it. That lady, I think, is just messed up because she's like, fruit. Good.
Fruit.
Cherries. And you're like, oh, come on, dude.
Okay, she's been conscious for maybe a few days. All right? She's getting some memories back, I like how they kind of threw that in there, like, oh, with genetic, passing down, she's getting some memories or whatever.
Yeah.
She's been alive for maybe a week, if that, cognizant. She's doing pretty fucking good. So if she just says fruit, be like, yeah, you recognize it's fruit. And you have to be like, oh, it's cherries, dum-dum.
Yeah, stupid, dummy.
It's a glove, you dumb butthead. It's like, dude.
Nobody's hand looks like break. That. I know.
Yeah. And, like... beginning of the movie Ripley is weird. I get like she's part the alien. They've kind of like she's kind of part animal too. So she's like doing a lot of like the fruit kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But I get it. I get the what you're going for. But I do like when she's eating with Brad Dourif, which one of America's greatest character actors, Brad Dourif. Fucking love that man. Fucking awesome dude. Can cry on cue. He's such a great fucking actor.
He's man. I don't. He's sort of to me in like a league of like Crispin Glover.
Dude,
like sort
seriously.
of like an unsung like
seriously
like really good actor.
I will go off on this for real quick, folks. I fucking love Brad Dourif. Awesome in, Two Towers and Return of the King. But if you have not seen Exorcist 3, please watch Exorcist 3. Fucking phenomenal. My favorite of The Exorcist. Because Brad Dourif's in it, and he fucking nails it, dude. Because, okay, you remember that episode of, like, X-Files when he's, like, that serial killer that can, like, see, like, talk to dead people?
Yeah.
He's like that, because he's also a prisoner in Exorcist 3 because they're like trying to whatever. I don't want to give but like it's that same level of like crazy kind of talking and stuff like that. So like it's so fucking good. Anyway, they're eating, and he was like fork. She's all like fuck.
Fuck.
Like,
no fork.
But then asshole scientist comes in, which like Breddorf is not a bad guy scientist, you know.
No, he's curious. He's just like
weird, but he also has like some compassion towards like Ripley and stuff. But other guys just complete fucking tool.
Yeah. And
it's funny because they're like, oh, let's not tell her that we have, you know, xenomorphs or whatever.
Yeah.
And she already fucking knows.
She already knows.
She's like, how big is it? Or, you know, it's like, how many you got? She's like,
12.
They'll breed and you'll die. I fucking love that line.
Yeah.
Dude. It's like, fuck yeah, Ripley. We're gonna train it.
Roll over, play dead. Like I was like, yeah. Okay.
You can't train it. We're training you. Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. Oh. Take that, Ripley. Take that, Ellen Ripley, number 8.
Juiced.
She got juiced by that scientist.
Right?
It's like, dude, fuck you, man.
I know. And then he eats that noodle all weird.
Yeah. It's like a weird fucking noodle, too. It almost looks like that mole thing that Call takes out later to put that thing in. It's like that same white thickness of, like, are they just eating, like, old Android ports, you know? They're old, like, hacking ports. Like, they make really good noodles, too.
Yeah, they're actually really good if you need.
The innards of a synthetic human, pretty tasty.
Yeah,
people think
good.
It's milk. It's actually Alfredo sauce. That's the third generation, you know. Ash was milk. Bishop was maybe like a nice cream, you know, half and half or something. And then they're like, what if we go with Alfredo for Call? The third generation. They're like, okay.
Yeah. Got noodles inside of her. Got Alfredo.
Alfredo. Spaghetti. So then we're introduced to the ragtag group of the Betty, who were hired to do a job for these scientists to get a precious cargo cut to its people.
Yeah, and that's messed up. So like, they're basically like pirates then.
Yeah, like they get paid cash under the table and like
because spoilies, these guys people. Were like miners on their way to something. You find out, and so they just get to. That would suck. God,
they just suck. Like they stole these people, and like, you know, this also has a pretty good fucking cast in it. I gotta say,
actually,
It's got a really good cast. You got Winona Ryder, you got fucking Ron Perlman, you got the dude from The Crow, the Daddy gave me this for my birthday guy. You got the guy from Clueless. I don't know anybody's names. You got the guy who plays Tuco in Breaking Bad. Pretty fucking solid.
Oh yeah, that's
cast.
right. Yeah, he's like a Marine.
Yeah, and he starts doing that yelling. I'm like, sounds like Tuco.
Yeah.
But you know, and this is when you get to meet them all. They're all kind of pieces of shit. And, we don't know yet that Call is an android, and I'm sorry if I just spoiled that to you. But the whole movie, you don't know.
Yeah.
You know? And they do a pretty cool job of that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. But I do like when he throws the knife in the dude's leg, you know? I was like,
just whips it up.
Yeah. Oh, God damn it!
So, like, my question to that is, like, if you're paralyzed, could you still, like... he'd still be bleeding though?
Yeah, I mean, it's still muscles and blood and shit down there. You just can't move it. And so, like, you know, that still sucks. Like, oh fuck, man, now I gotta like sew that up or like
dude,
laser
I'm gonna fucking
clothes.
bleed out, you dick.
Fucking asshole. Just because I can't feel it doesn't mean it doesn't fuck me over, dude. Like, goddamn.
I
do like how she
in
breaks
here that I forgot to bring up, and it was after the guy eats the noodle, and I don't remember who says this, but he says, I am not the man with whom to fuck.
Oh, that was Ron Perlman.
Does he really say that?
Yeah, so Call takes the knife and he goes, my knife, and she like breaks it.
There, okay, yes.
And he's like, you gotta learn that I'm not the man to fuck.
That's just the way he says it.
Yeah.
I had to rewind it. I was like, wait a minute. How did you...
Yeah.
So I had to write it down. I am not the man with whom to fuck. Whom?
Yeah, I was like...
Who says it like that?
He's such a eloquent man. You know,
I know.
that Ron
well,
Perlman,
I mean,
you know,
if you've ever seen any of his other movies, he actually can be quite eloquent.
I'm not the man whomst to fuck.
Now come drink my liquor that I made.
Yeah, with battery acid or whatever the fuck's in it. Homebrew, much more dangerous.
Yeah.
So then they come aboard, and the captain's talking to the military dude, and he's like, "Do you drink?" And he goes, "Every day." And he pulls out a little bouillon cube, puts it in a cup, and then lasers it. And I always like that since I was a kid, just the way that looks like it. Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't get the science behind it. Don't care. It's just fucking cool. Just open your little packet of whiskey.
Yeah. Here's your bouillon.
Yep. Which makes me wonder if you can just like pop that thing in your mouth and suck on it all day like a sucker, you're just gonna get drunk. You know, it's a whiskey sucker.
Well, it's kind of big. I'd probably cut a chunk off of it. I'd cut it in half. But I don't know if I'd want to be sucking on it. Like, I don't know if I'd want to be sucking on that. Like,
yeah.
It's like, whoa, that's strong. Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's one of those things you just shoot down. You don't just sip on. Woo. I like how it's laser, too. It's not like water or anything. It's like little...
I was assuming that it was like a freeze-dried or like in some way like frozen, but then like... But
I mean, it's easy.
Like
it's easy transport. It's easy. It's like airplane food, you know. You kind of just have them prepackaged. You throw them on a flight, and you're like, "Hey, who wants a whiskey?"
You put it under the laser, and it. Boop.
Yeah, you open it up like a snack pack, and you put it under your little desk laser.
Yeah.
Easy enough.
Everybody in the future has a desk laser for their whiskey, right?
Well, yeah, all cool people have laser whiskeys. So then they unload the cargo, the people, and they got them in those like shitty tubes with their heads. Like, what a fucking shit way to wake up, you know?
Right? Like,
you're just
my
like,
God.
I'm gonna go to sleep. We got our mining job. We got a little bit of a long haul.
There.
Just gonna sleep. Suddenly you wake up and your head's strapped and there's a fucking
like, oh, fuck, I
egg
can't
in
move.
front of you. Just like,
what the hell is that?
And you're like, oh.
Like, I don't think I'd be like screaming like that guy. I'd just be like, "What the fuck is this? What is going on here? Let me the fuck out of this shit!" Like, I'd be yelling, like screaming, like, "Let me out of this!" Like, what the hell? I'd be freaking the fuck out.
And you know what? I think you only see... I mean, like, you see a little bit of other face huggers, but there's only, like, one full face hugger in the movie. Like, you don't even see one in that scene. Like, nothing jumps on the dude. You don't see them later on. Like, it only is the one that gets on Ripley later on.
Yeah, that jumps on her from the...
Kind of cool, because you're just like, what's in the egg? And then, like, if for some reason you hadn't seen any other Alien movie, you're like, what's in the egg, you know?
For the ones who have seen it, you're like, oh, that was a face hugger, man. They're going to show it later in the movie.
Oh, dude. And they show it later in the movie.
That was us.
Yep.
Are xenomorphs common knowledge in this future? Like, do you think that they know what that shit is? They're like, and that's why that guy's just like, fuck. Like,
I don't know if that... Like, it seems like all scientists and military know, because, like, you know, Weyland-Yutani have always had to fucking deal with the xenomorphs and shit.
Yeah.
And I think that this crew is, like, commissioned or some shit by, you know, Weyland-Yutani or whatever they are. But, like, I think the knowledge and existence of xenomorphs is probably only, like, top secret. So maybe that dude is just like, what is this pulsating, gooey ball that's just, like, suddenly just goes like, oh
yeah.
Deep sleep from a deep sleep into that, you know. I'd be a little freaked out too. And Ripley's shooting some hoops.
Oh yeah.
In the commons area, you know, and Ron Perlman's trying to get his groove on, hitting the moves on Ripley number 8.
Yeah, he likes him tall.
Mm-hmm. He's trying to play b-ball with her, and she's like,
Passing that thing. I like that. Well, if you're not into that, I know some other indoor sports.
Yeah. I like the behind the head thing.
Yeah.
And then kicks his ass, and then that one guy's like, oh, I got the game. Catch! And just hits her in the face with, like, the dumbbell. Doesn't fucking do it.
Doesn't do anything, and then she just moves around. And
yeah.
What does she do to him? Just, like...
I think she hits him
smashed him with the basketball?
Yeah. And then one thing I fucking love is that someone, like, throws the basketball at her and she catches it like one fucking hand.
It's that woman, because like it's right after she like doesn't she whip it at Ron Perlman and it goes bouncing away, and that's when that girl tries to throw it at her and she just goes
and like just like whole palms it. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. It's like when you start kind of seeing like the cool abilities that clone Ripley has, and then throws her blood on the ground, starts to sizzle, and then she just fucking sinks a bucket without even looking, dude.
And then they call her a predator, and I was like, oh.
Did you hear it? Did you see what they did there? It's from the Predator franchise. It's like the other movies that are some now, I think, tied into this now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Alien vs. Predator. I don't know the canon timeline of Aliens and Predators is like that of the X-Men franchise, where it's like, I don't know what's canon and what makes sense,
right?
But I was fucking...
Because, like, there's AVP, and then there's, like... I know there's...
AVP Requiem, and then there's Predators, and then there's Predator, and then there's... Prey. Prey was cool.
Oh, Prey. Yeah, that's right.
But Prey was just a prequel to Predator. It wasn't like an alien Predator movie. Whatever. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about French-ass Alien Resurrection.
Resurrection.
Resurrection. I had this idea for a shot. What if it's a cube of whiskey and you put laser on it and it melts?
Amazing. Did we already skip the part where what's his name is like kissing the glass and like...
I think that happens in there. There's parts of it where it's... The notes I take are like that of a fever dream.
I know.
But while all this stuff's going on, so like the captain was like, hey, is it cool if we just like room and board here for a couple of days? And he's like, Mikasa, Sukasa. And basically I think they're just like robbing them blind because like the wheelchair dude's like out taking shit. And then like Call and
he's like, oh yeah, but don't like fight and don't fucking go dicking around and
there is one thing that like a detail that they bring up that is not really brought up in a lot of movies is like, don't shoot guns in here because I don't want your guys like fucking shooting a hole through the hull. And I was like, okay, cool, thanks for bringing that up, because any other movie with like inside spaceships just like,
well, it's because the captain, he's like, oh, why did you take my guns, what the hell?
And
like, because I don't want your idiot crew shooting holes in the hull.
I was like, thank you for bringing that science to it.
Like, oh, yes.
I do like how QVC still exists in the future, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, they were, like, watching, like, guns being sold on QVC or whatever.
Oh, yeah, drinking the...
She's got, like, the boxing gloves on. She's, like, trying to drink or whatever.
Well, at first she doesn't have them, does she?
No, and then when she first, like, what is this, battery ass? He's like, yeah, for color. And then it goes back, and she's, like, drunk and knocks it over and then leaves the room and is suddenly, like, sober.
Yeah.
Because she's there on a mission.
Yeah.
Because she found out about this whole cloning Ripley alien operation. She's like, I'm going to go kill it before it gets out of control. And then she breaks into
she sneaks Ripley's down room. To her tube.
Mm-hmm.
Her prison tube.
Yeah, why did they lock Ripley up, man? Like, I mean, I know she's probably kind of a threat. I mean, she's like kicked some people's ass.
Yeah, but
like,
why?
They just let her play basketball earlier.
Yeah.
Like, get in your cell.
Yeah, now go back to your cell and we're gonna lock you in. But you also don't get a bed or anything to lay in.
Yeah, you're like an animal or something. I don't know. Figure it out.
Oh, we'll let you out for some exercise. No big deal.
Yeah, yard time.
Like unsupervised exercise too. Like we don't do anything. But now go back to your cell.
Yeah, and they're not doing a great job of watching her. They're just walking over it for the fact that, like, she has a full-on conversation with Call, and there's, like, a dude that walks over, and, like, nobody's worried. Nobody's concerned.
Yeah, he just walks right over him.
Yeah.
She doesn't even move. They just look at him, and then they go back to talking.
A lot of hands in this movie on the faces. Because I can feel them behind my eyes. And then the...
Yeah.
Because Call was going to kill her. She's like, you going to do it? Fucking do it. And then hand on the knife. And I was like, woo.
I like that. But then she goes like, well, who are you? And then that's when she like kind of snaps into, I'm Ellen Ripley, blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah. She's like, no, you're not. Ellen Ripley died 200 years ago. And it's like, well, then what am I? It's like it's a self, exploration, movie kind of a thing. At the same time, she's just trying to find who she is. It's a coming of age story for everybody. Classic coming of age clone story.
Yeah.
John Hughes couldn't have done it better. So.
No.
They catch Call coming out of the thing, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are fucking traitors."
I mean, even Ripley, she's like, "Oh, you better go. They're looking for you."
Yeah, which is cool. I was like, "How the fuck do you know that?"
Yeah, I know. Then she walks out.
And so then they're all like in the commons area, the hangout, and like the other crew was like, "I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about," and she's like, "This has nothing to do with them," and blah blah blah. It's all about me.
She's like, "Whatever. You brought a terrorist on board. I don't care. You guys are all terrorists."
And then the guy whips out his guns from his arms.
Oh yeah.
And they start shooting some people. And then Ron Perlman's fucking thermos turns into a gun. I was like, "Oh, that's fucking rad, dude." Right? And then for some reason, the guy with the gun arms is like the Ricochet master.
Yeah, he's apparently like amazing with geometry.
Yeah, and he just like looks up and then pew, and then
because I mean he does it twice.
I mean he's got.
So I'm just like assuming he's like really good at math.
Yeah, so he's just like.
And probably like amazing at pool too.
Oh, I would not want to play against him. He probably has pool cues that come out of his sleeves.
Yeah, he's just sitting there going.
Look at my bouncing around, ricochets this ball off this other ball.
Yeah, off the ceiling.
Yep. And so while this was going on, Brad Dourif's looking at one of the xenomorphs. It is weird that they call them aliens in the movie. I don't know why that bothered me, but they are. I guess they're aliens, whatever. But he's checking them out. He's like looking at one that's like there's 3 of them in there. And yeah, this is when he does like that weird like looking at its teeth thing, and it does scares him. He like kisses it.
Yeah, he like kisses the glass.
Yeah, and they're very steamy.
Yeah,
like the xenomorphs in this movie are very steamy. It's just like constant. I do not like how they sound though. They're very like kind of
like they don't
grumbly growls.
They don't sound like the original aliens.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite just like that creepy breathing.
Yeah, my favorite alien sound is from Aliens. They're like I love that.
Oh,
especially when they get blown up too.
I like the scary breathing they do in the first movie, or just the one in the first movie.
Yeah, but yeah, they're very deep growls, like an aminal in this one. But then this is when he hits the freeze button on them.
Yeah,
and they start getting pissed off, and then it comes after again. And he puts his hand over it and it stops. And he's like, "Oh, so you guys learned quick. Dumb fucking idea, dude.
Yeah.
No one listens to Ripley. You're a fucking idiot. Whatever."
Yeah.
So then, I don't know. I'm just summing up this movie. They they get out in the fucking coolest, smartest way. The fucking alien, like so fucking rad. Like they just pick the weak one. It's like, and then just fuck it up.
Yeah, and kill it because we'll just use your blood and we're getting out.
Yeah,
just like stab the shit out of it.
And what's cool though is like it looks over and it sees that the button's locked and it's like now's our fucking chance, and like they fucking tear it up because then by the time he gets the button, empty.
Yeah. Well, he hits the button like right when they go, like that one falls to the ground.
And then he, of course, has to go in there, and then he gets grabbed.
Yeah.
And then this is the part of the problems of the movie I have is, like, the xenomorphs are so inconsistent with how they act. I'll try to expand on this. It's hard for me to... Because, like, you would think... Their base thing is to survive, so like they would take people to the hive, pin them on a wall, and like in front of a facehugger. A lot of these ones are just like willy-nilly killing dudes.
Yeah,
and it's like the preservation of your species relies on hosts.
Yeah,
you should just be collecting them. And it was very weird to me. Like it's a cool scene, but the dude that goes in there and then suddenly the xenomorphs in the thing and it hits the button.
Right.
You know, it's like, I don't know why it would do that, other than, like, it's cool to see a dude get frozen and his arm fall off. Like, I know you probably wanted to put that in the movie somehow. Like, what if what if a xenomorph does it?
And it uses its little like mouth to.
Not its hand, but its little inner mouth.
Because I mean, why would it use its hand when it has the little inner mouth thing?
I mean, that's mostly what their little inner mouth is for. Is the day-to-day pressing buttons, flipping levers, opening doors. You don't use hands for that.
Yeah.
Well, there's just like there's just other moments in this movie where like it just doesn't act like a xenomorph should. Sometimes they're really dumb, and sometimes they're super smart. Yeah. Sometimes they like take people, and most of the time they're just like killing people, and I'm like, I don't. It's hard to follow with the xenomorphs. They're basically like plot armor. It's like, well, we need this character to die, so the xenomorph's gonna kill this one, but not this guy.
Because like in the first one, it makes sense that it would just kill people and just maybe eat a little bit of them because there's only one.
Yeah. Well, even that though. There is that deleted scene in the first one where Ripley finds where it's taken all the people's bodies, and Dallas is still alive.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and he's like, does the kill me thing, like the first one, even though there's no egg to whatever. But like he's still alive, so like they still have that preservation of like.
So they would still have that instinct then.
Yeah, I mean they're like a basic animal,
Yeah.
It's about survival, so like it's just very weird to me that they're like, let's kill some Marines and stuff. Like I'm gonna hop in this escape pod and just blah, 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 blah.
Start ripping people apart. Yeah, that part was weird. I was just like,
I think because they also
this is what makes the movie like start being like not a regular alien movie to me.
Yeah.
This is where it starts not fitting in because you're right. I didn't think of it that way, but you're right.
Yeah. Because, like, I know they had to get the ragtag of people by themselves. So they're like, oh, let's let them evacuate. Most of the Marines evacuate, the scientists or whatever. But also, one gets into the escape pod and the guy rolls a CGI grenade perfectly into it.
Right.
And it's not an ordinary grenade, it also has a trigger to it.
Yeah.
Because why would a grenade have that? And then salutes him. And then proceeds to do the dumbest, oh, what? When it's like behind him.
Yeah.
And this part always bothered me ever since I've seen this. It was like he pulls out some of his brain, like, ooh.
Like, why would you do that?
It's comical at times, too. It's like,
yeah.
What's this?
Oh, boy.
What?
Right. I was like, why would you do? Why?
Yeah.
Would you pull a chunk off your own head?
What's going on back there? Ooh. It's just moments like that, like it's hard to take a movie like this seriously. I don't think they're trying to. But there's just goofy moments like that in it where I'm just like, why?
See,
why did
and
the
then gives
alien
it that like
take so much time too of like, oh, I'm gonna get you, then.
Yeah.
It's just like.
Well, that's what gives it that like lame, over the top horror aspect, which it just didn't need because like it's more scary when you're not seeing the aliens like constantly and doing stuff like that. Like it's kind of cool to see like a quick glimpse of one, like scurry past real quick because it's scarier.
Yeah.
And then you see its face like right when it's about to like eat somebody, or kill them or take them away.
It's because like even when they're like in that cage, like you're seeing it too much.
Mm-hmm. Like
in Aliens, at least when like there was a large group of them, it's fucking terrifying. But you're also not like seeing them in great detail. Like that scene of them in the cage, like it's just fucking holding on them for a long time. So you like get to see all these parts of the xenomorphs. But like, first one you barely see it. Second one, there's a shitload of them, but like you don't get to see full glimpses of them. Like it's more terrifying too. Like when they look up in the ceiling and it's just like all of them crawling, you're like, whoa, like that's terrifying.
Well, because they stick to the shadows and stuff.
And these ones are just like loads, walk around and go and stuff, press buttons. I mean, there's only 12 of them, so which when I was a kid, I thought there was a lot more.
Me too.
I remember a part of this movie in my brain where there was just a shitload of aliens, but like, I guess not. The first person to die out of their group was shocking to me. I remember that being, like, the captain being the first.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's kind of strange for him to be the first to go. I better go down this corridor alone. Keep picking up guns alone.
Oh, here's a slimy one. I guess
I'll Why does everyone always have to touch slimy stuff and keep going?
Because, like, well, so, right? So if I would have touched that, picked it up, and it was gooey, I'd be like, ah.
Yeah.
I'd be like, screw this. I probably would have, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is bad.
Oh. Oh.
And then gets taken through the floor, and then for some reason, the xenomorph's like, gotcha, through the middle. And then, go away.
Then he dies halfway in and out of the...
Yeah. But it also does lead to a pretty cool scene. But then, like, the xenomorph gets out and doesn't, like, chase them down. They're like, oh, zoinks! And they all, like, run away. And then, like, for some reason, it, like, turns around and is smelling that hole in the guy's chest. And then the fucking shotgun just comes through and blows its fucking head off. And I do like how when she pushes the body up with the shotgun, and he's just like, oh, like, that's pretty fucking cool. There's some scenes in this, so I was like, that was pretty fucking rad. Why'd you kill it? Isn't it like killing one of your own? It was in my way. I was like, ooh.
Oh.
The progression of, like, Ripley becoming more human, I like. And then once again, to a certain point in this movie, I don't. But, like, I do like that more progression of her being like, oh, fuck these things, you know? Like, I'm a person. Like, I want to live. I'm going to get off this fucking ship kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Once again, she can feel everything because the ship's moving.
Ship's moving. Is this when she brings that up?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, the ship's moving. Oh, you can't feel that. We're in, like, stealth, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Lady, we're in stealth mode. And then Call's like, no, we definitely are. And it's like, well, well, the standard procedure is if an event like this happens, it just goes back to home base. What's home base? What the fuck do you think home base is from?
Earth,
Where are
homie?
these people from? Earth. And it's 3 hours away. And
I'm like, damn, why are you that close?
Well, what's is weird is they're not, because at one point they go by Jupiter. I was like, it doesn't look like it's cruising that fast, but suddenly they're like, oh, how long left? It's like, we got 2 more hours, and then they're by Jupiter. I was like,
you got longer than that, dude, or either that ship is like going way faster than it looks.
It takes more than 2 hours to get to the fucking moon.
Right?
And they're like, oh, we're 3 hours away from Earth. We just barely floating in the fucking, like, outside the atmosphere.
Right?
Jesus Christ. We're in uncharted waters. The government can't touch us up.
But we're 3 hours away from Earth.
We're 3 hours away. If we were 2 hours away, no. 3 hours away, that's fine.
Just fine.
Which makes, like, because they don't really say where they are, like, because they're by a planet. So you're like, are they by Pluto? Like, where the fuck are they? Doesn't matter. But they're 3 hours away. So
it's
we
like
got
a really
quick
jump through the solar system.
It's a quick romp, you know. Hey, we got interstellar travel. We've been doing it forever. It was just like quick ride out 3 hours outside of Earth.
Yeah.
You just have to have that time though, like, you know, it's always like
without the countdown.
You have to have the crunch, you know.
Yeah.
You can't just be leisurely trying to escape. You got to be like, we're on a time limit.
Yeah, but are you leisurely trying to escape aliens? Like, I don't know. To me, like.
Well, you know, we have all the time in the world right now. Let's just get out of here.
Because the ship's just going to sit here, so.
Yeah. No, I went off this fucking thing as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Now we also got 3 hours.
Yeah, and we have to destroy the ship before it lands or crashes.
Are you kidding? This is a military installation and science and stuff.
Like, yeah, but all the military abandoned it, so fuck it.
Yeah. Fuck you, guy. This is, like, also when, like, Tuco is, like, with them. He's like, yeah, let's fucking get off. Like, I'm no longer, like, military guard trying to arrest you. It's like, I'm with you guys. Let's get the fuck out of here. And then, like, it was weird, like, the relationship between Call and Ripley is cool, too, because, like, Call's so against her. It's like, oh, she's a fucking thing. She's one of them, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, well, so are you. You're a thing, too.
Do you think she already knows? Well,
I think Ripley did. Like, they're, like, if she can sense fucking xenomorphs and people searching for her through walls, I can guarantee she could, like, smell her body and stuff and be like, yeah, fucking. Because jump to when Call gets shot and falls to the water, she just falls past that xenomorph and it just looks at her. Like, obviously knows, like, that thing serves no purpose to me.
Yeah. Like,
I can't use that thing as a host, whatever. So, like, Ripley had to have fucking known. So I think that's why, like, Ripley had, like, a bitch please face every time. Yeah. You can't trust her, and she's like, she's not even a real person. She just looks at her like,
yeah. I'm not a real person.
Looking.
But I mean, even later
bitch.
on, she says to her, like, well, at least you have your humanity.
Yeah. That's true, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I ain't no damn robot like you.
Fucking bitch.
Might be
And
a
then, like,
clone.
and then Ripley kind of almost takes on that, like, motherly role for her, too. Like,
Yeah.
she ends up caring for Call. That's fine. But, like, I do like when Ripley tears its fucking tongue thing out.
Yeah,
It makes a
souvenir.
good souvenir. And I was like, nice. It's like, don't fucking fuck with me, bitch. I'll tear this thing's tongue out and give it to you.
Yeah.
I'll tear its little mouth out and give it to you. Does the little mouth have a hole or does it only have teeth? Do they eat through the little mouth or does the food go around their big tongue, the little mouth into their hole, into their tum-tum?
That's a
Or
good
do
question.
they bite with that and then the little mouth bites more and the esophagus is in the little mouth?
Huh. That's a good question.
I don't know. What's the
'Cause,
anatomy
I mean,
of
they
the xenomorph?
they can push it out.
And it does
so-
some damage, you know, so...
So I wonder if it's kind of like a tongue.
Yeah.
But then, like, why would it need the extra teeth and stuff? Like, what's the point?
Yeah,
Because
why
they
is
can
that?
move.
Yeah, so, like, I wonder if it's to help them eat better, like...
They can pull
big
more
fucking
stuff
tough game. Like, I don't know, but do they swallow with it? You know?
in. Yeah. Because, I mean, there's not a
I don't
hole
know,
in the middle
Ridley
of our
Scott,
tongue.
make a whole fucking movie about the tongue of an alien.
Do like
and then
a
complain when
documentary.
nobody goes to see it. Oh, no one will see my movie.
It's about
No one
streaming.
wants to go to the cinema no more.
Like, stop
Nobody
calling it
wants to s-
cinema. We might go see.
Yeah. Stop being a piece of shit. Maybe I'll see your movies.
But like, my question is like, so if she wouldn't have worked out, would they have scraped that 7 off and made it 1 through 8 and put her in there?
Maybe there was like the
Because like,
luckily
that's like a
she
pretty
worked
like
so
set
well.
up like
Yeah.
1 through 7. I'm like, you guys had
There's-
a feeling about 8.
Yeah. And that's when 8 doesn't work through, and the guy's like, "Damn it!" He has to scrape it off, and they get the guy that lays over the inlays over the things. It's like, well,
Maybe next time.
9th time's the charm. So she goes in, and this is when you see all the failed attempts of cloning Ripley, and the coolest one is that one that's like mostly like alien, but it's got skin like a person, and it's got those like things coming out of its back,
Yeah.
like a xenomorph has. It almost looks like that dude from the Spider-Man animated series that like shot the lasers out of his fucking thing.
Oh yeah. But it's
But,
got
that
like the
one-
big like
Yeah, but it has like no
almost
eyes and
regular
shit.
teeth. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was the coolest one. The one that was just a bunch of hair was weird, and it's got like another mouth here. But it's
Yeah.
like, this one grew too much hair, so we had to terminate her. Everything else was fine about her. She had way too much fucking hair.
Yeah. Yuck. Nobody wants that. I'm a hairy queen. No.
Harry Ripley? I don't think so.
So then would all of those other failed attempts also have aliens inside them?
So yeah, I think the whole purpose was to clone her just for the xenomorph. But I think with all those, the xenomorph and her didn't separate. They like became one. So there's like nothing to get out of them. It's like, oh, they fucking merged again. Shit.
But then they
Kind
can
of
just
a
keep
thing.
them and kind of study them.
Yeah, like, it's like, they might as well keep them in a cool glass tube with the light behind it. Looks pretty rad. Not gonna lie.
Poor number 7 though. Jeez.
Cool detail I like about this. This is gonna be weird. She has hairy armpits. Love that. Fucking love that. Just this thing that's like, stuck there, weird morphous blob with like arm that's like sealed, and it's like, she has hairy armpits, because why wouldn't she?
Well, yeah. Why that? That's like they're not gonna shave her. They're just using her for samples.
Yeah. But it's such a cool, weird detail to put in. Because like anybody else, they would have just like had normal person,
Yeah.
Armpit being normal, because it's like, whatever, we don't think about that. But for them to be like, I mean, it's I don't want to say it's because it's French, but maybe it's French, but he's just like, her armpits would be hairy. I like that. I don't know why. Call me weird. Fucking cool detail to have.
Dude, it is a cool detail, and it just reminds me of, I'll go back a movie, RoboCop, when the robot falls up, like that big one, and its little toes, like,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
When you think about the details, folks, and like really take the time and put those in the movies, someone will notice. If someone's like, no one's gonna notice this, someone will notice.
Someone notices.
And it's these two guys right here. We notice, all right? So filmmakers who are watching our show, never give up on your details. Put as much details as you want into your fucking movie. That's the end of my PSA for that. So
Details.
And then she just burns them all up because that one's like, kill me. And she does. And some good acting on Sigourney Weaver's part, you know? She's a phenomenal actress. So it's good. And then she just lights them all up. Might as well. Fuck it. Oh, then they find the dude in the wheelchair. Because they were like, fuck him. Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
No, we gotta find him.
Messed
and
up, and I'm like,
fuck him.
Yeah. I'm like, that's messed up.
Comes out the door and they get him.
Because there was that we thought you were done, dude.
Oh, I totally forgot about that fucking scene, which was another problem of one of the xenomorphs that I had. When he's like cruising through that tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
And there's that one crawling over him. And it just sits up there and takes its sweet fucking time for him to build the shotgun so slowly out of all the parts of his chair. And it's just sitting there going, wonder what he's going to do.
Right.
And then he just continues to shoot at it and it just sits up there. I'm like, what the fuck? Like...
I know, that was always weird to me. I'm like, why would it just wait for him?
Yeah. Like, this thing is like an ultimate killing machine. It's just gonna be like, oh, I wonder what this guy's gonna do.
Yeah, I'm just sit here and watch. Just gonna watch for a second.
I wonder what he's doing. Huh.
He's building something real slow like down there. Can't be anything harmful. I'll just keep sitting here watching this guy. They go into that room where all the cargo people were held. Their chests are all blown open and shit.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And they find the one survivor, and Ripley knows he's alive because he's got, like, condensation on his glasses. This scene was cool. Because, like, they're all discussing what to do with him and how he's just fucked, and he's just, like, the whole time, like, what's inside me?
Yeah.
What's inside me? And everyone's just, like, talking over, and it's like, what's inside me?
Yeah.
What the fuck is inside me? And I was like, ooh, okay.
I gotta look at him. Oh, parasite.
I do like how straight Ripley shoots it to him. She's like, there's a monster in your chest. And it's gonna grow. And then it's gonna fucking explode out of your chest. And you're gonna die. Just straight shot. Just exactly what's gonna happen. You don't sugarcoat it with Ripley. She's just like, hey, that's what's gonna happen.
Well, what's the point? I mean, that's what's gonna happen.
You're gonna be okay. And Call's like, no, we'll freeze him. We'll put him on ice. And it's like, why the fuck are you care?
Like, why bother?
Yeah. She's programmed to care.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But I like everyone's like, I'll just fucking shoot him right in the back of the head. And let's just leave him, blah, blah, blah. And she's just like, oh, let's save him. And nope. Just straight shot, Ripley. Just no sugarcoating it. You're going to fucking die.
Yeah.
It's going to grow in your chest. It's going to get big enough. And it's just going to pop out. And you're going to be dead.
Pretty much.
So then they get into the big Universal Studios tank. And they're like, the only way through is to swim. I hope nothing bad happens when we're underwater.
Yeah.
I always do this thing, I don't know if you do. Anytime somebody, like, holds their breath in a movie, I always end up doing it, too.
I purposely do it so I can see, like, if I would make it through. And I'm like, nope, I'd be dead.
They were down there a fucking long time.
Well, yeah, and Ron Perlman, bah! You know, I'm just
all
like,
of his air out.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
I'm like, no. And then, because, like, if he did that, there's no way he would have made it because they get to the top of that thing.
Going. Yeah, and somebody left the pool cover on because they didn't want to get leaves in the pool, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, they're down there a long time. Like, because usually, sometimes I do the same thing. I'm like, let's see if I can hold my breath, too. But for some reason, anytime someone goes, I always do the, why am I holding my breath? I'm not going underwater. What the fuck am I doing, dude?
I just want to see if I can make it.
Yeah. I do gotta say, though, the guy with the paralyzed guy on his back, he's doing it the smart way. Everyone else should have been doing the same thing, where they're pulling themselves with the grates. Like, everyone's doing swimming. I'm like, dude, just fucking do that.
Like, he's going all quick through the bottom. That's what I would have done, too.
And Ripley, she swims like an alien. You wanna know something weird? Okay. I used to do that in Centennial Pool just to fuck around, like, oh, I'm gonna swim like Ripley in Alien Resurrection. Don't know why, but I was like, ooh, I was doing that too. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a fun time. I was just like, oh, I'm like Ripley in Alien Resurrection. I'm a little boy. I was like 8.
Exactly how you talked when you were 8.
That's exactly how I talked when I was 8, folks. I'm a little boy. Deep voice like that, and I couldn't say my awes.
Widow.
I'm like Ellen Whipwee. I can swim underwater. I'm 9 years old.
But yeah, like, that dude was cruising, just pulling himself along. Everybody else should have done that.
I know.
And
also
then, like,
climbing a ladder with him on his back.
Dude, he's fucking strong. He can ricochet like crazy. He's got great upper body strength, like, and became the one in charge after the captain died, I guess. I don't know. But like, yeah, everyone else should. And like that one girl just like suddenly was not able to swim, suddenly had too many guns on her. I'm like, why is this suddenly a problem with you now? I don't remember you carrying those into the water. And suddenly you're like, oh, they're chasing us.
And then they get her.
I do like when he shoots the grenade at it underwater, and like that one just like xenomorph just dodged out of the way, and the other one's like, whoop. Like, what a dick move, man. Like, oh, gotcha.
Yeah, but I mean, would you sit in front of it?
Well, don't tell your friend about it, just like, hey, watch out. What? And just explode. So then Ripley uses her cool nails, opens up the pool cover, and they're in a nest of eggs, and it was a trap, which is kind of cool that was leading them into a trap. But I don't know why it took that lady down in the water. But I don't know. It doesn't matter anymore. They're just trying to get rid of characters they don't care about. Whatever.
Yeah, got to thin out the herd a little bit. There's too many people at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, we got to have fewer. I do like the facehugger jumps on Ripley. Although she does that weird thing underwater after it grabs that lady, and she like does this for too long,
I know.
and then swims away. Like I never understood that as a child, other than it looks cool with the hair. But like I don't know why she did like. But she ends up getting the facehugger off her in a really cool way, where she just like bites it and then like rips it, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Everyone else is always like, "Ooh," and she's just like, pretty smart, Ripley. And then Ricochet Man ricochets some grenades off the ceiling and blows up all the eggs.
Then they start climbing out.
And apparently xenomorphs can shoot acid now. It just hawks a loogie on that dude's face. And then for some reason makes the cripple guy climb, and he's trying to shoot it, and he's missing. So he's like, hey, Ron Perlman. And then Ron Perlman goes upside down, is like, definitely would just be shooting those dudes. I don't know how he was like,
I know, I'd be like, stop shooting at me like that. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah. And misses, and then hits one right in the head, and then blows up. But this is one of the big problems I also have with this movie is the self-sacrifice of this character, unnecessary.
Seriously, what? I was always just like, what? Why?
Yeah, because like it's stuck on his foot, but its head's gone, so all you have to do is shake it off. And like, yeah, you got some acid on your face, but for the most part, you look fine. Yeah. And you're like able to move so well, but he's like, nope, gotta sacrifice myself or this guy's gonna fall. Then turn around and grab the ladder, dude.
Seriously, like that fucking alien slime like got you so bad. Like, no, honestly, I got hit with 3 bullets that Ron Perlman.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want anybody to know that, so I'm just gonna sacrifice myself. Like, I never understood it, and to this day, I just don't.
Also, I feel like if he fell in the water, he would just be able to kick the alien off and then climb back out.
Yeah, like, and it didn't have a head, so it's and like it's loosely on his foot. It doesn't have like a death grip.
Yeah,
it's like loosely hanging on, so you could just literally just shake it, like get your other foot and kick it off.
I mean, I would at least try.
So I don't understand the self-sacrifice scene. Never have, whatever.
Yeah, strange scene. Guy didn't need to die. In my opinion, he was fine.
Didn't need to die. Yeah, he was perfectly fine. You just had a cool scar on your face. Whatever, dude.
Because now you'd be like, well, what's that from? Oh, man, it was this fucking alien, dude. It was scary as fuck.
It hawked a loogie at me, and like, it fucking burned my face. But, dude, we fucking killed them all, dude.
Yeah.
Call gets shot. She goes up top, and the guy's like, oh, the thing won't break. Give me your gun. And she's like, okay. And then...
he's like, you're too trusting. Pop.
And then just... face first in the water, definitely would have broken a nose, but hey. And she just floats down. You kill her! And then bam, missed him every shot. There is that weird scene too, is after Ron Perlman like pulls himself up, he gets scared by that spider.
Oh yeah.
She's like, alright, that's kind of funny. And then the door opens up from the other side because it's locked, because Father locked it.
Yep.
Who is it? It's Call.
And they're
She's
like,
all wet.
boy, I saw you get shot, boy.
And then Ripley just proceeds to put her fucking fingers in her hole after they find out she's an android. And Tuco gets way too excited about it. Like, oh my gosh, never thought I saw them in real life. They went fucking rogue, blah, blah, blah. They stopped making these ones.
Like, be like a few out in the world.
Man, fuck yeah, this is so cool. Like, he's just super pumped to meet a synthetic, you know?
Right. Like, it's a synthetic made by synthetics.
Pretty cool. I also like when Ron Perlman was like, man, I almost had sex with you. And the guy's like, it wouldn't be the first robot you had sex with, dude. And I was like, got him, dude.
Oh.
Juiced, once again. And so they're like, hey, you can open these doors. She's like, no, we got rid of our blah, blah, blahs when we did the resistance. And the guy's like, oh, you just hardware yourself in it. She's like, damn it.
Gah.
And, like, so they go into the church, the chapel, and I like when, you know, Call does that thing, and I like how Ripley just looks at it and goes, you're programmed for that? And I was like, yeah.
I know.
Also, are her nails getting longer at that point, too? Because when she's, like, shoving the noodles back into Call, like, her nails looked a little longer, too. She grown longer nails. But they have a tender moment, like, oh, I'm not a person. She's like, oh, you are. You're cool. Pull that mole out of your skin and just hardwire yourself into it. Pretty rad.
Hurry up or I'm going to make you do it.
Turn on the ship, and she's like, oh, but I can't blow it up. She's like, then fucking crash it, dude.
Okay. So my question is the mole thing. It's like, could she just pick any mole?
I think it's just like a specific one. Like it's like the port of their USB drive, but they're like, well, I don't want to always be in a hole, so like maybe we can just make it look like a mole, you know? Because it's like such a not like a tiny fucking hole. No one would have noticed. But maybe they wouldn't know where it was. Like, oh fuck, where's my port at? So we marked it with a mole with a little noodle inside of it. How do you get that back in?
But she also has to like search for it too.
Yeah, like hang on. Like, how do you get the mole thing back in?
Maybe you just get to grow a new one. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like, are they that advanced? I mean, they have like fake skin, I guess, that looks pretty fucking real. And can you bang them? Like, is that a thing?
Oh, probably. Oh, probably.
Well, then you know, I mean,
you gotta make them seem lifelike, you know, so nobody knows that they're synthetics. Which always makes me wonder. You think Bishop was like fucking swinging down there, dude? He had the confidence of a man like that.
I bet you. I bet
Bishop
why would robots? You know, they know people are curious. They're gonna be like, you know what? All these robots gonna have big ol' hogs.
Big ol' hogs on them, you know. Bishop's fucking swinging. He got that cool trick with the knife. There's a cool line. I don't know why I liked it. It's cheap. But, you know, the guy's trying to escape, and she's like, oh, he's almost to the Betty. So he locks the door. And he goes, Father? And she's like, Father's dead. And I was like, yeah, dude. Yeah. Fuck yeah. And I do like the all aliens please report to level 1.
And right there is when I was like, oh, man, why'd you call them aliens?
Yeah, I still, like, okay, weird.
Oh, and that's like when Ripley's talking about dreaming, and she's like, oh, I used to suck dreaming, but then, you know, I'm not afraid to dream anymore because when I wake up, it's always worse.
Yeah, that's very true.
Wow.
Or Ripley, she just never has, like, even clone Ripley, you know, inheriting those memories. She's just never had a good day.
Nope.
She went to work one day and then had the worst day of her life for the rest of her life, you know?
Yeah, for 200 years plus.
200 years, poor Ripley is just like, every day sucks, you know?
Sometimes I'm half a clone, sometimes I'm half alien, sometimes
I was just doing a job,
me.
And we landed on this planet, and then from there, my life became shit. So sorry for being a bit of a bitch, alright? I've had a bad fucking day for the last 200 years, alright? Give me a break. This is the point of the movie where it loses me. Is they're running to the Betty, and she's like, they get the gooey floor, and the guy that's like, oh, that's not a good sign. And she goes, we're getting close to the nest. I can feel it. And then she falls to the floor.
Yeah.
And this is when I was like, okay, I'm over it. There's like the fucking living flesh floor, and there's like tails coming out of it, and she's just like laying there, and it just like sucks.
She becomes like I.
And
like what
that
is
part,
it?
I'm like,
is there like is it just pulsating aliens, or is it like a gooey like?
I don't know, because they build like the walls in like Aliens, with the colony down, like when they get close to where like the reactors are and where they're keeping all the people, like the walls, have that Geiger look to them.
Yeah.
So to me, I've always thought that they like spit it up like bees. You know how like bees make honeycomb and shit like that?
Yeah.
So like I always thought it was that, but like this was like pulsating and like there were fucking tails in it. So I was like,
yeah, I'm like, what is?
But how could there be tails? There's only 12 of them because there's not enough people for them to make more aliens. So like, what the fuck is this? Do they just spit out living tails? Like I don't know. This is when it loses me. Like
when she falls into the gooey floor.
Yeah, and then from here on, the movie is just like it definitely does not stick the landing that it already was not getting to. But like, it's just the third act to me.
Yeah.
Like if it didn't do that, it could have been a more decent.
Well, I mean, it gets even better.
Doesn't it even better? Because then, yeah.
Like, what in the hell? Like, when even the second... So I watched it a second time, and it gets to that scene, and I'm like, what is even happening?
I don't know. It's like, I think they came up with the idea... I'm sure Joss Whedon's like, what if it's an alien and it's a human? So, like, Brad Dourif's still alive, and he's, like, gone crazy, and he's, like, narrating. Thank God he's doing this exposition, because suddenly this is happening in the movie. They have not been cutting to it at all. Suddenly we're jumped into this story of like, oh, the queen's giving birth. Like an actual birth instead of an egg. This is her gift to you, Ripley. And
well, she got that from Ripley. Like they both like got stuff from each other.
Yeah.
But no, what I was talking about is that part where she's like all like, did she bang that alien? Like, is she banging the alien?
Oh, when it's carrying her away?
Yeah, like, what the hell is that?
She's like comforted. So, like, it's weird that it's carrying her like that. And so slowly, like, I thought it would just be, like, dragging her, like, one hand. But it's, like, it's being told to. I don't know why. Like, it's in my head. It's, like, the queen's, like, go get Ripley. Bring her back really safe and gently, though.
Yeah.
Because, like, once again, hypersexualizing this scene where she's, like, oh, and then she, like, falls asleep in its arms or whatever. And is like so comforted by it, which I was.
Well, see, like I was so like, because I noticed, okay, it's carrying her, but then like, it's just weird because there doesn't seem to be like movement at some point. So I'm like, what is going on? Why is she caressing this
like,
alien?
For some reason, weirdly out of it. It's not like they knocked her out or anything, but she like wakes up on the ground and she's like, oh, what? And she's like, this is for you, Ripley. And she's like, oh, what? And then,
oh man, what?
Giant, dumb, white alien with a big old gut, tiny legs, dumb fucking nose. Doesn't even have holes in it, but it's smelling with it.
Yeah.
Recessed eyes. Like, hey, I know I have recessed eyes, but this thing's got really recessed eyes.
Well, like, I think the point of it was to make it look somewhat human. Like, because they gave it, like, sort of a skull. But, like, you're right. Why would that little, like, tip thing move when its, like, nose was very obviously part of, like, the skull?
And, like they could have just made it look more like the one that was one of the failed experiments. Like, that one was more human-esque. Like, actually had human skin and not just, like, white, jiggly, gross skin. Like, the mix of human to xenomorph was just not good.
No.
Like,
it reminded me of, like, you remember in Waxwork, the the werewolf?
Mm-hmm.
Like the big werewolf, the way it moves and everything. That's what it reminded me of, and it's always crushing heads.
It's got two moves, knocking blocks off and crushing heads.
Yep.
That's what this thing's good at.
That's what it reminds me of.
It's, wow.
Like a greasy, gross, like, big werewolf creature. Because that's how it moves, and it's
fucking accurate, man.
Except for I like that werewolf way better than this alien.
It's just so wrong. Like, it gives me an uneasy feeling, not in a good way. Not like ooh, this is spooky. It's just like, this is just gross and weird. Like, if it gave me that, like, oh, man, this is like, kind of creepy and terrifying, but I just mostly see it every time I go, this is fucking gross and dumb.
So I feel like if they would have made it, like, I think the making it more human would have worked if they would have gone less, making it look like a puppy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, because the dark recessed eyes could have worked, but, you know, don't give it the ability to move its, like, skull features. Like, they should have just been stiff and looked like a skull and looked gross.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
They could have done better with it, obviously, but, like, good God, is it bad. And then, you know, it knocks the queen's head off, and then goes after Ripley, and it's like, it thinks it's your mother. It's like, thanks, Brad Dourif. Thank you for describing that to me. And then for some reason, he's like, come here. And then
crushes his head.
Yeah. And then, meanwhile, back on the Betty, the guy with the xenomorph in his chest gets shot. Scientist dude's there.
Oh, yeah, because he's hiding in the darkness.
He's holding a call. He's like, I'm going to kill her if you guys start the ship and get out.
Then, well, he goes to the used to be Marine guy. All right, take their weapons. And then, an idiot, he's like, "Oh no, man, I'm not gonna do what you say." He should have been like, "All right," and then just shot that guy.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Let's put down your weapons, guys. He's like, "Thank you," and then he would have just shot.
Yeah. As soon as Call got away, just shoot him.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, Tuco. Think with your brain next time. But he's trying to show that the camaraderie. Like, no, man, these guys.
No, man, I'm one of these guys.
And then so then the guy's chest burster starts coming out, and he gets like adrenaline rage and getting shot a bunch of times, nothing happens, and then it's just like slamming the dude's head against the stairs.
Yeah.
It's like equally a cool and a dumb idea at the same time about like him holding it up and the chest burster coming through his head.
Right.
Pretty cool that it happened. Dumb how long it takes, and like for the fact the guy's like, "What are you doing?" Like
dumb that the guy even got the idea to fucking do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is his third time having an alien burst through his chest, so he's like, "Right here," Right,
I know where it's coming out. Like
I'm like, yeah, cool, she said the middle of your chest, but like, it's cool and dumb at the same time.
Like cool idea had it been done a different way.
Yeah.
But just dumb in the way it gets to it. But cool to see a fucking chest burster go through a dude's head. Like
I think it would have been maybe cooler if it just would have went through like his back. Like if he would have just grabbed him and just went through his own, like his chest as well.
Ooh, so double chest burst.
So he would have had to like see it and then also die with him.
That'd have been pretty fucking cool. Like double chest burst, like just grab on the guy from behind.
And he knows it's coming out of his chest, but he doesn't know where to hold the guy's head. So it would have been cool if he just grabs him and then just
trying to get him off his back, and then suddenly just
yeah,
that'd have been much more cool, sweet, poetic of like, fuck you, scientist guy, this is what you get, not just quick, easy through the dome head, but whatever.
Yeah, you get to enjoy it going through your chest as well, but also your spine too, I guess.
Yeah.
And also, here's another thing about these aliens. For some reason, they lack the speed of the alien from the first movie.
Dude, and even from Aliens, and even I know Alien 3, it's crossbred with the dog, but all of them have that ability to fucking go
when they're
fast.
little larvas, they're like, whew, they just go speed.
They can run on all fours. I don't understand why these ones just leisurely take their time. I'm just walking around.
Well, I was even sort of surprised when they take the queen out of Ripley. That looks basically like it would be just about ready to burst out of her.
Mm-hmm.
That it doesn't move more and try and squiggle away.
That's why they put it in a tube.
And then the one that they shoot after it comes out of that guy's head.
Yeah, it's just oh, what's going on? And then nothing. I don't know,
I guess in the first one they did were oh wait, don't touch it, and then it just goes.
Yeah. And then, another thing I have about this dumb child alien xenomorph thing is, why is there steam coming out of its holes in its head?
Yeah.
Where is that being produced from? Does it have, a little factory up there, little cogs? Because there's just, holes on the side of its head. Although it looks cool, why? Why is there steam coming out of its head?
Yeah, it's...
I know it's always coming out of its mouth. Maybe they got really hot breath. I don't know. But there's, actual bits coming out of the holes in its head. Once again, looks cool aesthetically, don't know why it's happening. I have a lot of problems with this fucking part of the movie, people.
Yeah, the ending is just really... It's chunky. It really just kind of goes.
Yeah, they didn't know how to stick the landing because like Ripley's running down the hall, jumps through, thinks she closes the airlock, and this is the part of the movie I really like because like Ron Perlman's like, yeah, Ripley's back, like excited, like she's fucking cool again, and like she knows how to fly the ship, Yeah. That was pretty fucking cool.
I like, you know how to fly this? This thing's older than me.
Yeah, fuck, yeah, man, I don't know how to fucking fly this. I thought you died. I get that a lot.
Yeah.
I also like that earlier. He's like, hey, I heard you like ran across these things. What happened? She goes, I died.
I died.
But yeah, like everyone's all, yeah, Ripley's back. She's flying. Airlock's not closed. It's not in there yet. It does get in there.
Yeah.
Because Call's trying to close it. I do like how it's like, thanks for helping me close it, bro. Because it's like, oh,
yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Well, I did kind of like that. And I'm like, oh, well, we don't need other people coming back. So let me just shut that for you.
Yeah. I wanted to get on the ship too. My mom's on here.
Yeah. Where's my mom?
But then yeah, like it does all this weird like noises and stuff, and like and Call's hiding from it, and like for a moment it's like ooh, and then it goes to grab her again, and then poor Tuco comes back and then doesn't try to run, just
totally does a clever girl on him.
Clever girl, and then just
does the whole head squeeze again.
So then Ripley sees it back there, and she's like, I gotta go. You guys try to land this. And they're like, we don't know how. We literally are not pilots.
Ripley, we don't know how to do that. And she's like, all right.
Just figure it out. And then, I don't know, man. This whole fucking scene is like, touching this big old fucking slimy dumb thing. And then, I do like how she decides to, like, dispatch of it. Like, oh, there's a window. Let me cut my hand and then just...
Yeah.
Pinhole kind of thing. And then this is like, it's gross, but it's also satisfying because I'm so happy to see this thing fucking die.
Right.
Getting its flabbiness sucked out into space. I don't like how it makes noise. I don't like the noises it makes. It's screaming. Fucking dumb. Ripley's all crying over it. God, is it satisfying to see its guts come out and like get sucked back in,
Its arm just go...
And then like all the thing. The weirdest part too is like when the skin comes off the skull and the skull's just perfectly there and then it
just shatters.
It's satisfying to see, folks. Like
it is. It really is.
People are like, yeah, stay saved. I'm like, fuck yeah, that thing is gone. I don't have to look at it anymore.
Yeah, thankfully it's awful.
But then the big ship crashes into Earth, and that's gonna do a lot. Like it fucking explodes.
Well, yeah,
dude.
that was
like,
crazy.
Like that is gonna cause some fucking devastation on Earth. Like
yeah, but I mean, like you hear what Ron Perlman says about her. Oh, it's a shithole.
That's true, but like
I mean, it seems like it's pretty fucked up anyway. Cause
yeah, I'm sure like a lot of people aren't on there anymore. Like I know like they're already making colonies and stuff like in the older Alien movies, and
yeah. So
I don't know how many people actually live on Earth, but Jesus fuck, man, now it's gonna be hard to live there now. They're like, oh, let's make a life for ourselves. There's gonna be some fucking tidal waves, and there's gonna be ash covered in half the Earth because of this giant fucking reactor of a spaceship. You can see the explosion from space. Yeah. We'll be fine.
It's fine.
That's all right. There's no xenomorphs. That's all that matters.
Earth's been hit harder with other stuff.
Yeah, that's
way
true.
Worse.
But it's also like weird to think about. Like I know it's not Ripley. I mean it is, but like she hasn't been on Earth for fucking ever now.
Yeah.
Like, she's never been able to go back home, and I feel so bad for Ripley for that. But it's like finally like, hey, I get to go back home.
Tomorrow in Longmont, look for partly sunny weather with a high of 80 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 39 degrees.
Hey, thanks for that.
Just so you know.
Hey, that's what the weather was like back in 2024 in Longmont.
Yep.
That's nice that she told you that.
I know.
Very sweet of her.
Once I get back, I can enjoy that weather.
Yeah.
If we get back.
But yeah, that's the end of the movie. It just fucking ends. It was a rushed ending.
Okay, so in your version, do you see her on Earth?
Do I see her on Earth?
Yeah. She sits on Earth, and they're like in Paris, and it does a backdrop of it, and it's just destroyed.
What?
Like Earth is just thrashed.
That's the end of the movie? The one I see is just like fucking them flying over it, and they see parts of the Earth. And
Okay.
just the clouds, and it fades
Okay,
to black.
so in the version that I see, they've landed. They're sitting there and they're talking, and what's her name? The droid's like, "Oh, I bet the government's gonna be sniffing around here looking for you pretty soon." And then they talk about, "Oh, well, there's probably like lots of places to hide," and she's like, "I don't know, I've never been here before." But then it shows like the backdrop of like Paris Eiffel Towers all muffed and shit. That was kind of cool.
Wow, that's a weird. I mean, yeah, we get the ambiguous like everything's a-okay kind of a thing.
This ending actually made it to me now that I remember, because when I was watching, I was like, I thought it just faded to black after they made it to Earth.
Yeah, it does. The regular version.
And so I saw the other one, and they land, and they're on Earth for a little bit, and they talk. And
I do like that's cool that they show like how Earth it just fucked up.
yeah. So it's just like when that thing hits after you see that, you're just like, oh, well, what did they mess up? Like nothing. Like
yeah, it's already a shithole. Like he's
like literally, it is a shithole. Like it just like everything looks fucked up.
Huh. So they're just sitting in Paris. Makes sense. The director's French, sitting in good old Paris.
Right. Check it out. It's all screwed up. Eiffel Towers in half.
Up. And hey, we're having a good old time.
Aliens are dead. Kinda. They got Ripley.
Kinda, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. Question mark ending?
Oh,
the end?
Oh, Alien 5, maybe? No. One more rant about Ridley Scott before we do a promo.
Okay.
We almost had Neil Blomkamp was going to make an Alien movie. The guy who did District 9 was going to make an Alien. It takes place after 2 and 3 never happens because Hicks was going to be alive, Newt was going to be grown up, Bishop was going to be back. There's fucking sick ass concept art where like Ripley has like this fucking like cool almost engineer helmet with like a cool mask over it, like and Hicks had like cool scarring on his face. Was gonna happen, and then Ridley Scott's like, no, I'm gonna make Prometheus. So we never got.
So we would have probably had like a pretty sick ass Alien. Probably wouldn't have been like 1 and 2.
No, but it still would have been
fucking
like a Neil Blomkamp, like fucking Alien. Like I wish we would have seen it because the concept art for it was fucking cool, and for the fact that he was like, you know what, fuck 3, fuck them killing off Hicks and Bishop and Newt, like that was bullshit. So. But no, Ridley Scott's like, I want to make an Alien.
I'm like, well,
me. Remember me? And it's like, yeah, you had your time in the sun. Give other people a fucking chance. But no, we'll never get that because of butthole Ridley Scott. Like, yes, Prometheus was pretty cool, but you fucked up on Covenant, and now we'll never get the Neil Blomkamp Alien. Oh, man, I have a headache.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's wrong?
My dumb alien giant baby is just causing up a ruckus. It's always constantly crying. Give me the puppy dog eyes. I just want a fucking moment alone. I just wish there was something I could do.
You know, when I'm sick of my gross, sweaty alien baby crushing skulls like a werewolf, I go to my prison tube in my spaceship, and I go to projectnerd.com. That's project-nerd.com. And that's where I get a little bit of relief from that kind of nonsense.
A little you time. That's all I need, you know? Do they have nerdy things on this?
Yeah, it's a little you time to nerd out on the fun stuff that you like and not your gross, sweaty alien child.
Man, that sounds like the website for me. I'm going to head over to project-nerd.com right away and neglect my dumb, sweaty alien baby child with dumb eyes and a dumb nose that smells, but there's no holes in it, but it's smelling. I don't know why. Check out project-nerd.com. Oh, let's get into it. The nitty-gritty, the part everyone waits for.
The best part, where it's almost over and you don't have to listen to us anymore.
Thank God.
Before we started all this, I referred to this Alien movie as big fan of Metallica, all the way up until the Black Album. I'm a big fan of Aliens, all the way up until Alien Resurrection. To me, Alien Resurrection is like the Black Album of Aliens.
Good. That's a really good way to put it, dude.
Like, it's not awful, but it's not Aliens. Like,
Yeah.
it's not Metallica. It's not Alien. It's to me, it's a bit more actiony than it needs to be. It shows too much Alien, where it just. But I mean, with what they're doing with the movie, they kind of have to show it because they're like,
Yeah.
oh, we're trying to train them, and I don't know. This movie. I don't know. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either, and it just really has this like middle ground feel to it, like where if someone's like, "Hey, want to watch Alien Resurrection?" I'm probably gonna be like, "Can we watch like one of the not Alien Resurrection ones?"
Maybe any of the other ones.
Yeah, like I don't even like 3 that much, but I would rather definitely watch 3. So I'm gonna give this movie 7 Metallica Black Albums.
Ooh, okay. Is this the worst Alien movie? No. Is it the best? God, no. There are aspects of the movie I enjoy. There's cool parts to it. And then there's definite dumb parts to it. And that's the end of the movie, the last half of the movie, last quarter of the movie. There was really some potential with it, I think. They could have had something, but it was too much of an action movie. And the xenomorphs were smart and then dumb at the same time. I don't know. The sets were cool. The pod race was pretty cool. I don't know. I'm going to give it 7.33, repeating, of course, Brad Dourif's out of 10. It's not great. It's not bad. It's just Alien Resurrection.
It's Alien
folks.
Resurrection.
I don't know
If you've seen it, you probably know what we're talking about. And if you've seen it and you really fucking liked it, then tell us why you really, really liked it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's your favorite.
I've seen it multiple times. I don't enjoy the ending every time, but I still watch this movie. I don't know. It's
one of those ones, if it's on TV, I'm like, oh, hey, Alien Resurrection.
Yeah. It's just... It's not great. It's not bad. It could have been more... It could have been pretty good had they just changed some aspects of the movie.
With saying it's not bad, it could have been way worse, too.
Oh, yeah.
Just put that out there.
Oh, yeah. Could have been a lot worse, but it wasn't. It's just a real generic 1997 Alien movie.
What's crazy about it being 97? I really thought it was newer than 97.
I will say there's parts of it that still look pretty good.
Yeah.
Like the CGI aliens like walking down a hallway doesn't look good. Them underwater still looks pretty good.
Look pretty good.
And the fact that they use miniatures and shit for like spaceship stuff also looks pretty good. So like it's not a bad looking movie. I like the color grading. I like the way it's shot. I just hate the fucking gooey alien baby.
Yeah.
Like take that out of it somehow.
Or
could have been a bit more of a
rework
decent
it or
movie.
something.
Do something. Maybe show it early on in the movie and it growing up slowly and hunting them down looking for Ripley.
Or only show it once you make it to the ship. That's when you get to see the final face of it.
You see parts of it during the movie and it's like, oh my god, it's hunting us. Then it's like actually just looking for Ripley.
See, because that could have worked, if it killed the queen right at the beginning. And and it would have been even cooler if it was just killing the other aliens if it came across them,
Yeah, and you're just like,
just
I don't know
looking for Ripley.
It's just, you could have done something else with it than this dumb, big old bellied little legs. Looks like the fucking thing from Pan's Labyrinth, although that's way cooler.
And scarier.
Guillermo del Toro is awesome at creating monsters. This is not a good monster. So,
No.
And that's it. That's Alien Resurrection. It angers me at the end.
Yeah.
It's an okay, enjoyable romp of a dumb, fun movie, and then it gets to that part of the movie, and I get angry every fucking time. And you think by now I'd be like, I know it's coming, but every time I watch it, I go...
You get angry, but you do get to see it sucked out of a little hole, and that's pretty cool.
And that is satisfying.
Yeah.
It does make some dumb noises, but you do get to get it.
You're like, and that's what you get. I'm
Yeah.
glad you only got, like, a tiny little portion of the movie.
And poor Ripley's like, I'm so sorry. Like, you shouldn't be. Look at this fucking gross thing.
Dude.
Get out the window. But yeah, that's it. That's Alien Resurrection. Check it out. And if you like it, I'm sorry that we don't like the parts of the movie that you like. But if you hate it, hey, that's on you.
Yeah, but you can also let us know in the comments, and we'll try and answer.
Please do some comments. We're so lonely.
Yeah.
I click refresh on that all the time. There's nothing new there. Please send us something. But nothing mean, because I do cry easily.
Yeah.
So. I'm not as cool as Brad Dourif when I cry, but I do cry. No one's as cool as Brad Dourif. Don't even try it.
Yeah,
if you think you are, you're wrong.
Yeah, you're not.
Brad Dourif, you're a really fucking cool guy. I'm sorry if I'm saying your last name wrong. I highly respect you. You're a really cool dude. Please be on our show. And for Two Guys, One Film, I'm not Brad Dourif. I'm Dylan.
I'm Dane.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Brad Dourif, please be on our show. I love you.